Hi, everybody. Welcome to Comp 111. We're going to have a very busy 7 weeks. So this is a full-fledged Comp 111 course packed into a 7 week semester. So the first thing I'll say is, well, I guess the first thing I should say is I'm Ray Lucina. I'm your teacher this semester. But the first thing I want to say is be sure you carve out enough time for this. You'll have weekly reading and writing exercises. And about every 2 weeks, you're going to have a full-fledged essay coming in, and you'll need to leave time for peer editing. So leave time in your schedule for this spring, and leave substantial time. Remember, our spring classes are the same content and meet the same outcomes and objectives as the 15-week courses during the year, all packed into 7 weeks. So they're not easier. They're just, I guess, more convenient if you need to complete the work. You need to complete a class very quickly. So I'm going to walk you through the mechanics of getting around the course site today. Please pay careful attention to this, and especially I'm going to give you a few really don't do this or really do this warnings, just to help things go along as smoothly as possible as you get used to the online environment. You want to be able to focus on the reading and the writing and the discussions, not on finding your way around. So first thing to do is to read the announcements carefully. I know this is a fair amount of text here, but I do want you to read through it very carefully right off the bat. Some of what's said there will be in this video as well, but it is very important to read this. A few highlights here. First of all, you need to make sure you have regular access to a computer, and you really should be checking into the course once a day or so. We'll typically have 2 deadlines during the week. An initial set of work due on Thursday, and then the final work due Sunday. The Thursday work will be, Thursday is when you'll have to post to the discussion forums usually. So by Thursday, there's typically reading and then maybe pre-writing or assignments that have to be done before you make those posts. And then follow-up posts are typically due the following Sunday, the coming Sunday. So pay really careful attention to that. I'd suggest having a backup computer so that if your system crashes, you're able to get online. A library, if you're near Delta, you can always come out to the LLIC, just make sure they're open. Their spring, summer hours change a bit. Or a local public library, if nothing else, or a friend or a family member, but have a backup in place. Your computer dying is not a valid excuse to disappear from the class. And remember, you have to attend the class or you will get dropped. If you miss more than a week of class, and that means you don't post for a week, you don't do the work for a week, I reserve the right to drop you, and I probably will for financial aid purposes. We're strongly encouraged to do so. So read the announcements carefully. Now, there are 2 places you're going to live in this course, and I'm going to try to discourage you from clicking around anywhere else, okay? First of all, you'll be able to check your grades here under grades, and you'll see things all listed out. The things that might change a little bit, for example, that's not a blog anymore. I have to actually edit that. I've changed that, but I failed to edit it here. But at any rate, things that might change a little bit, sometimes I may add or take away a discussion forum. Or sometimes I may this time add a 4th journal grade. I'm not sure yet whether I want to do that or not for one of the projects I'll be having you do there. The key is this, though. Each of these things, it's a weighted grading system, so each of these things will always be worth this percentage of the grade. Okay, so just be conscious of that. The other place I want you to live is in the content area of the course. Everything you need in the course is linked to in content. So discussion forums, for example, checklists, all that stuff is here. The reason I don't want you clicking around is, for example, for some weeks, I may have initially had 2 discussion questions. Maybe for this run, I've decided to only have you answer one of those. Well, if you click on communication and go into course tasks and come into discussions, you will still see both of those boards there. But I don't want you filling them both out or responding to both of them. So you may wind up doing wasted work. So use the table of contents to get around the course in the content area of the course. Here are the individual modules for the course, and I've got everything open for now. The Getting Started General Course Materials module will give you links to the documents you need to begin the course by reading. Here's your syllabus. As always, read the syllabus carefully. If you ask me a question and the answer's here on the syllabus, I'll answer it, but it will annoy me unless it's unclear. I don't want to sound like a jerk, but I'm happy to help you. If you have a question, just ask it. But don't ask me something that might be on the syllabus and you haven't read the syllabus. If you read the syllabus and you forget something's on there, that's fine. Or if you didn't understand something, that's fine. But read the syllabus. The general grading criteria for essays is my basic rubric for the essays. My rubrics are based on this. So again, it will give you an idea of how I assess these various grades. When I actually grade an essay, there's a rubric attached, and it will assign a number of points based on how well you've done in each of these areas. Okay. The student resources and responsibilities is from the Delta College catalog. Read it carefully. It's your rights and your responsibilities and various resources available to you. Pay special attention to disruptive student, which I've not had a problem with online or face-to-face, to be honest. Students tend to be, I like you, and I've never really had issues with anybody. But be aware of the fact that in an online course, if you start posting stuff which is disruptive or inappropriate to discussion forums, you run the risk of having the disruptive student policy applied to you. So just be careful. And also the academic integrity is very important. An online course, occasionally people will feel tempted to try to copy and paste something in from another source just because they don't have that face-to-face connection with the instructor. And there are serious consequences for that. We use MLA in here when we do cite sources. One of the reasons we use MLA is so that you can use material from other people, but in a way that is legitimate and won't get you in trouble. Finally, the rubric for discussion boards, I need you to read carefully. This will tell you what you need to be doing each week to get full points on those discussion forums. Okay? And one thing to be aware of is that for the responses to discussion posts, you need to post a total of 4 to 5 times over the course of the week. So that means your initial post plus typically 3 follow-up posts to things that your classmates have written. So be careful about that. Every once in a while, a student will post once or twice and then not understand why they've lost points on that. And you'll see that rubric in action right away when I grade that first discussion post. Your introductory post, fairly straightforward. Just make sure you've taken your time with it and make sure you respond to at least 3 or 4 other students. Okay, final big thing, and this is our first week's work, and I'm going to leave you here, and I'll let it end here. You must be very careful when you click into one of these modules. This very first link, you need to click on it in order to see all the due dates. It's just the way this is called a checklist in Desire to Learn, which is our learning management system. I've given you a description of what is in the checklist, but to get the dates, you have to click here. Okay, and this gives you all the details and all the dates. All right, so again, just be sure that when you get into a new module, you click on this first link and that will take you to all the due dates, and everything else you need will be linked down here below as well. Here are the chapter 1 overview videos. Here is the first discussion board post, which is just an introduction, and everything you need is right there under content. Okay, this should be a fun course. We get to explore some neat ideas. You get to write about yourself, people you care about, groups you belong to. The number one key to succeeding in an online course is to just come to me if you've got any questions or concerns. Best way to get a hold of me is by email. You can also, I've got a help form set up here, and I'm just going to go to it from here because I see I'm going to link to it in the course guidelines, but for now let me just show you where it is here. The help form, if you got questions that are kind of general, due dates, things like that other students might either be able to answer or other students might have the same question, post them there. Email me at any time if you've got a question about anything, especially if it's related to your own work or your own grades. I'm happy to meet you in person or to talk to you on the phone. I don't go to campus during the spring summer semester regularly, but I am more than happy to meet you out there if you want to do a face-to-face or to give you a call if you want to leave a callback number and an email. I'm here to support you. I find that the students who tend to not do well in online classes, who disappear, they're the ones who get confused or fall behind and never reach out for help. And really, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to support you and help you get through this. It's a lot of work, okay? And I keep pretty high standards for that work, but I am here to help you get through it and succeed. Okay, have a great first week.